fellow drone nerds, thanks for joining us today. My name is Joe Kearns and I have another exciting product I'd love to show you today. This is the new Pix4d viDoc system. This is the first hardware coming from the software giant Pix4d and basically turns your mobile device into a full professional grade 3D scanner. So you can tell with this award-winning product the real commitment that Pix4d has in this space. And let's dive into some of the unique features this product has. So as you can tell, there's a big antenna on top of here. This is a full RTK antenna giving you that centimeter grade accuracy on this small mobile device. Now, as you can see, if you look closely, there's actually the ability, how it captures data is through that LiDAR sensor right there in the front. And then on the bottom, and again, this is the mobile version, on the bottom, there's a laser rangefinder, so you can actually get to that perfect ground point and go crazy and get exactly where you want, exactly with that. And then also there is a module for a survey rod. Now this operates on Pix4d Catch, which is already a very proven software program using the LiDAR system off of an iPhone and some of the phototelemetry capabilities with it, that just using the viDoc just puts that on steroids, if you would. Excellent in that sense. Now you're out in the field capturing all of that data, you're able to view all those capturables on your mobile device and then upload them in the field using Pix4d Cloud. So now when I describe this to people, this is basically a drone in the sense that of what it can capture. So think of this as basically just a non-flying drone for the places a drone can't go. So I mean, talk about a big use case right there. If using this, you don't have to have a Part 107, or say if you're in a restricted airspace zone, you can still use this device to complete that mission. So all the data that you can capture with the viDoc actually can then marry with, say, the data from a drone flight and be able to bring both of them together in the Pix4d software of either Mapper or Matic and be able to have a full comprehensive point cloud system. So really exciting to use this as even to better up that phototelemetry game. So what industry did Pix4d make the viDoc for? Well, honestly, all of them. Like in my use with this, there's a use case for it everywhere. So let's just talk through a couple of them at the moment. And I would say one of the big ones would be public safety. Now, there's all sorts of use cases for it, but I'd say the first and the one that really sticks out for me with this is accident recreation. So, if you've done this before and say you've used a drone to capture data from above, let's get particular with it. So say it's a crash in the middle of an intersection, and one of the first things is they need to capture the data from everything, but you got to get that accident out of the intersection to keep the traffic going. So, if anyone's done this before and have brought out a drone maybe to capture this data and do a full aerial flight of what's going on there, sure, definitely captures great data. However, some of those shiny hoods of cars or the shiny glass on a windshield, maybe even kind of the oil slicked ground, it's not going to be the best for phototelemetry, and the final product a lot of times turns out to be like kind of gumdrop shaped cars. It doesn't have a lot of structure to it. That data is still great, still capture that data, but then bring in the viDoc. So the viDoc, you're able to, again, rapidly deploy this with ease of use. So again, we're going for quickness here, and then take this and walk along each of the cars that are in the accident, get the data from below, get into where the wheel wells are, get into the parts that are a bit of a wreck and try to capture all of that data. So then you get a full comprehensive point cloud system and a full accident recreation with both the drone data, the viDoc data. You could just use the viDoc data in that sense as well, but putting that all together, what a wonderful device for accident recreation. All right, so this gives a real world kind of view of this. I've got a PD was kind enough to let me walk out and do a scan of a recent crashed car, and I just want you to see what it looks like when I start to scan that data inside. It's pretty fascinating how quick this starts to grab every little detail of it, and it's still sci-fi. I'm still geek on this stuff, so let's check it out. So oil and gas. So I know using this device maybe out in the, let's say the Balkan region in North Dakota, there's a ton of different assets out there, and you have a lease operator that's going through each and all of those, and you may be using a drone flight to fly the data above and capture the data from that asset. Well, use the viDoc, be able to walk in there, be able to get into those cracks and crevices right there to pull all of that data to grab, again, a more detailed, comprehensive scan. Now, obviously, biggest use case probably for this device is going into construction. So being able to pull this device out and maybe do a scan of, say, a pre-build pipe lay or conduit lines or different things like that that's in the dirt, in the ground, and be able to take this and scan inside of that, be able to capture all of that data before you have the build on top of it. And again, using that RTK data and be able to know exactly maybe where there's an issue or problem or maybe a conjunction, you know exactly where that is. So really interesting with this. Now, with that, let's actually go out to maybe not the best use case, but I just kind of want to show you how it works. We're going to go to just a recent build of just some framing put up in this apartment complex or townhome, and I'm just going to walk through with this, and I want you to see what it looks like as it starts to collect this data. Right, so we are in a new build at the moment right now. I'm going to put the viDoc system on the back of this phone, and we're going to walk through and see what this kind of scan we can get. Hold tight. All right, so obviously when we're talking phototelemetry and we're talking all this data grabbing and point clouds, one of the biggest use cases for this is definitely going to be volumetric measurements. So again, obviously that's volumetric measurements, definitely the bread and butter of a drone flight. And obviously use a drone when necessary. But again, what if it's near a restricted airspace? What if you're near jail? What if you're near a national park? Different things like that you still need to get that scan. Deploy the viDoc system, walk around, scan all that data, upload it through the cloud, put it right into Matic. I mean, super quick and easy to use. So let's actually go outside and let's go scan a pile of dirt and get a good volumetric measurement with this device. All right, guys, hey, so I'm out here in a new build area and I found some good spots to do some volumetric measurement on this right back here with the new viDoc system. So hold tight, we're actually gonna dive in right now. Well, hey, thanks again for joining us today and having an overview of the viDoc system. If this excites you as much as it does me, and I think there's a great use case for your organization, please reach out to us at experts@dronenerds.com. Hey, thanks again for joining. Have a great day. Bye.